Yeah, well, I thought it was a great college baseball game. I thought, both teams' pitchers did a really nice job. Um, Obviously, both teams backed to the wall, and the starters came out and just did fantastic. It was, it was one of those games that's going to be decided late, and they were able to put together a rally. I'm real proud of our team and how they responded after last night. Just wasn't good enough to get us over the hump today.
Okay, we'll take questions for the players.
To both of you, there were obviously opportunities for runners in scoring position and runs that didn't happen. Just how frustrating, considering what could have been.
I mean, that's always frustrating, but we still were able to put together and stay in the game up until the very end.
Some days they'll fall, some days they won't. This is just one of the days that it didn't. We hit balls hard. We stayed in the counts. We had good at bats. It just didn't work out for us today. It happens.
Just can you kind of sum up how y'all feel about things, this coming on the heels of last week, and just how do you view things about the season?
I mean, right now, we're obviously, I guess the seniors are more than the other players, but we're obviously sad, but we realize that what we've done and that once this tomorrow probably we'll be happy about the season. And, I mean, we are right now. We had a really good season.
It was amazing to play with the group of seniors that we have right now, and it's crossed all of our minds, the underclassmen and some of the juniors. These guys aren't going to come back next year. They're not going to be putting on the jerseys and running out on the field anymore. And they've taught us so much, and they've been with us through everything. I've learned an incredible amount from each and every. I can point to every single senior, and I can tell you how they've helped me at some point this year. And it's just going to be a real big loss to the program to have them not here.
Was it on your all's mind at all trying to get the first regional win?
I mean, yeah, I guess we wanted to, but I don't think we were really pressing for that. We were just going to go out there and play our game.
We always talked about the game doesn't change, there's a title on top of it. But that was weighing on our minds a little bit. We wanted to be the first. We wanted to come out and just put our names in the JSU history book, be the first one to win a regional game, and just come out and compete and do it. Fortunately, it didn't work out.
If you finish your senior season with 100 hits, what does that mean to you, I guess?
I had a good season, I guess, but we also broke the school record for hits today in a single season. So, I mean, that's a bigger deal than just me getting 100 hits to me. But yeah.
Any other questions for the players?
Pascal, can you talk about Sam Clay, the reliever who came in and just
The lefty?
Yeah.
He's got a very good slider. Got me with a high fastball, got me to chase it, and came back with two sliders back to back, chased both of them in the dirt. I feel like that's kind of most lefties' kryptonite, a left on left slider. That's something I need to work on. But hat off to him. He threw well.
Can you describe what it was like to play last night in that atmosphere? What's it like for an opposing player?
It was fun. I mean, I guess if you have any competitor in you, it's a fun atmosphere to play in, and we had fun playing last night.
What about you?
It was the largest crowd I ever played in front of. It was a new experience. But once the game actually got going, it was just baseball. It was fun listening to the crowd. One time after I accidentally kicked the ball, I heard a couple fans screaming at me. But that's just something I'm just going to remember for a while.
Griff, did you hear anything particular from the fans at all?
Did I what?
Did you hear anything in particular from the fans last night?
I mean, in right field, you're going to hear things, but yeah, as the game kept going, it's just you get used to it, I guess.
Anything else for the players? All right, gentlemen, we'll let you go. Continue to take questions for Coach Case.
A couple situations, the gamble over slightly bad.
Yeah, he had the base, but his foot came off the base. He reached back for it. I mean, it was the right call. He was off, and the guy tagged him.
And then Griff's grounder and Michael comes to
Yeah, obviously that's a base running mistake, and it hurt. Michael's been a really good base runner for us. That was a mistake. Wish he would have stayed in scoring position right where he was.
How was Stout today from what you saw? Was he a little bit off or got worn down a little bit? Or
Well, it'd be hard to say he's worn down. I felt like he came in and got us out of an inning, which he's done so many times. They get on, I think sack bunt, we catch for a pop-up, we throw a guy out trying to run. And then, the first couple of hits that they got off of him, I didn't think that they hit the ball really hard, but I thought they did a nice job of battling. They hit ground balls through there. And then he got a ball up on the ball in right center field, and the kid just he roped it there. And then we didn't close out the inning right away, and they got another run. But I don't think he was at his best, but, he was competing. There's no doubt about it. I would never question his preparation or his heart as far as competition goes.
Has he had an inning like that? Do you remember?
Yeah, he's had an inning. It's been a long time. I remember, I can't tell you, but it was probably about halfway through the season he had an inning like that. And, most closers are going to have an inning like that sometime. You don't want it to happen today. You'd rather it happen on a Tuesday in a game that meant nothing. But he pitched 5 times for us in the conference tournament and didn't give up a hit. And twice, 2 of those times were for over an inning. And he threw outstanding. So, it could be a little bit, that might have been a little bit much for him. And then maybe he didn't bounce back quite as much. I know Travis well enough to know he wouldn't be making any excuses. He gets himself ready about as good as anybody I've ever seen to compete. From the time he gets here, he has things that he does. Certain parts of the game, he starts getting ready, and when it comes his time, he wants the ball.
Perspective-wise, how do you balance out what just happened with what happened last week, and how you do this?
It's tough, and that's kind of in what we do. It's kind of what have you done lately, and that's okay. And as disappointed as we all are, and I am too, I thought we would come here and play better than we did. But at the same time, I don't think that takes away from what they accomplished last week. And it'll take time before we realize that. We were very, very high last week, played about as good as we have all season. We didn't play as good this weekend. And for whatever reason, might have been the competition. We faced some good competition, and that might have been part of it as well. But I think as time goes along, the guys will really appreciate what they did. And I felt like the last inning was that was kind of our team. You fall behind 3, you get your heart broke a little bit, and we get the bases loaded and no outs, and we have a chance at the end. And that's been a characteristic of our team. We don't quit. And we weren't able to come back and win it today, but I still was proud that we just didn't lay over, go 1, 2, 3, and go home.
And what, the other 3 teams, how do you feel like Tech stacks up with Washington?
Oh, I have enough trouble handling my own team without trying to evaluate the others.
The kids haven't played in that atmosphere last night. How helpful do you think that'll be if they're in the situation this time next year?
Well, that's the key. The key is getting back with the same group, and for most of these guys, I think we had 2 guys that had played in a regional that was on this team. And you need to get back quicker than that. You need for them to experience, because the next time they'll handle it probably a little bit better, a little bit differently. And but it's a difficult thing when it's the one time that you've done it in your career. The more you do it, the easier it gets, I believe.
Is Tech a team that you might try to play next year?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is Tech a team you try to play? It's so close. Like an hour.
Yeah, we're very, very close. We've talked about it before. I don't know that that'll happen or not happen, but we've talked about it before.